someone is using their cell phones. That's why I do apologize. If this attitude of mine would make me lose, that's okay. It's better for me to go home losing, knowing that we were all given fair and equal attention, rather than going home knowing that we were not even given the same attention at all. Now, I'd like to go back to the question, what specific category in a beauty pageant is it that mirrors who I am and somehow mirrors my life story? In Tagalog, alin sa beauty pageant or sa gay pageant na category ang sumasalamin sa aking buhay? Definitely, I am not the most beautiful. Perhaps that's the main reason I was not able to get your attention. I've been bashed because of my body. I've been bashed because with my skin tone. But I believe that sometimes, mas maganda magkaroon ng maitim na singit kaysa sa maitim na budhi. Pangalawa, that's why I would not choose national costume. I would not choose swimsuit competition. I would not go for a long gown competition, but I believe it is the question and answer that mirrors my life. Because when I graduated as magna cum laude with a degree in information technology in Far Eastern University, I was given at the very young age a reminder by my parents that for me to be able to gain that respect that I need from the society, kailangan kong mag-aral ng doble pa bukod sa lalaki at sa babae, because to earn respect as part of the LGBTQIA+ community will be very hard for people like us. Kung yung iba nagtatrabaho, kailangan mo kumayod ng doble ng trabaho para mapakita mo kung sino ka. And I believe that the question and answer, these definitely mirrors what my life is, because I always have questions on my mind. I always question myself when it comes to how better and how good I am as a person. Sapat na ba ako? Tama ba yung ginagawa ko? And if I am being true to who I am. But then I was able to find the answer through my parents, because they have accepted me for who I am. And that reminds me na lahat ng katanungan ko ay nasasagot ng aking mga magulang dahil tinanggap nila kung sino ako at patuloy nilang binibigay sa akin ang mga tamang gawain nang sa gayon ako ay maging mabuting tao. Yan ang aking kasagutan, tumbukan, wala ng pahalabaan at wala ng palabukan. Salamat.
My desire.
Again, you pick one cue card and then you can read it first muna para ready ka rin. So, eto na. Yes. Your question is, eto na papanahon yung tanungan dahil malapit ang araw ng halalan at eleksyon. Ang tanong, bakit hindi mo dapat ipagbili ang iyong boto? Again, bakit dapat hindi mo ipagbili ang boto mo at bakit?
Thank you so much for that question. Well, in today's generation, there's a lot of something that impedes our potential as Filipinos, that impedes our progress. And the vote buying could be one of it. By buying our dignity and respect to each and every one. I believe that if we should not let our votes to be bought by these politicians, first, because it is our right to know who is credible enough to run for our country. Second, it is our right to have a free will, especially in voting who we want. And third, it is our right to be knowledgeable enough to understand the promises that these politicians will bring to our community. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to use this very platform that all of us right now in today's generation, where we are being fed with so many information, I would like to encourage you to utilize this information as a potent influence to tell to everyone that their vote should not be bought by someone, because it is our right, and it is like these politicians are taking our right as a human and as an individual of this country. Always remember, ladies and gentlemen, the true dignity comes from our heart and from our mind. And if we are going to let these politicians bought our vote, it is a reflection of us that we are failing what the hundreds of Filipinos have suffered before. Many of the Filipinos before, our ancestors, suffered and sacrificed their lives in order for us to achieve the democracy that we are facing. They suffered so many things. They sacrificed even their dreams just for us to vote freely and to have a freedom, especially in our rights. So always value those sacrifices because these people had to walk for us to run. That would be all. Thank you so much.
Salamat. So, pili ka na ng isa. Ayan. Okay. Pwede na. Okay. So, your question is, ngayong eleksyon, ano ang mas mahalaga para sa'yo? Ang integridad o ang popularidad? Again, kung ngayong eleksyon, ano sa tingin mo ang mas mahalaga para sa'yo? Ang integridad o popularidad?
Maraming salamat sa napakagandang katanungan. Dahil malapit na po ang ating eleksyon, marami pong nagtatanong at marami sa atin, sa tingin natin, ang popularidad, ang isang magluluklok sa tao upang ito ay tayo'y gabayan. Patungo sa ilang taon o ilang buwan nilang pagpananatili sa government services. Always remember this, a good leader should always possess a good heart. And that is the kind of character that a politician must possess. So mas pipiliin ko po ang integridad kung ako'y tumatakbo bilang isang politiko. Dahil ang popularidad ay nakakalimutan ng tao. Ngunit kung anong ginawa mo sa tao, mananatili yun sa puso nila. At tatatak ka bilang ikaw ay karapat-dapat maluklok sa kinakaupuan mo bilang isang gobyerno. Dahil lagi nating tatandaan na ang leader ay hindi lamang nag-uutos. Ito'y nagagabay ng daan para sabay-sabay tayong magtagumpay at ma-achieve natin ang ating hinahingin para sa ating bayan. Always remember this, without a good leader, there's no good followers. And with the followers, though their vote is always be counted because they're the one who's going to give us the space in government services. So ako po, bilang isang tao sa ngayon, piling po natin ang popularidad, ang isang sagot para magkaroon tayo ng isang kakilalang gobyerno. Lagi po nating tatandaan, ang puso ang dapat nagdidikta, hindi ang utak o hinuman sa social media. Thank you so much.
Umingan is, ano yan, sa part yan ng Pangasinan, sa dulo na ba yun? Sa gitna? Or...
Yes po, dulo na siya ng Pangasinan. Boundary po siya ng Pangasinan at Nueva Ecija.
Okay. Ayan. So, eto na. So, kuha ka na ng isang tanong. At eto na. Oo, grabe. Alam mo kasi ito na, nagbabiral din kasi mga video mo, no, kapatid, no, sa mga reels mo. Mahusay ka, magaling matatas magsalita, di ba, alam mo yun? Pero ito na ang tanong para sa'yo, tanong, napaka-tricky. But anyways, kaya mo na sagutin to. Bakit sa tingin mo hindi dapat manalo yung mga kalaban mo ngayong gabi? Sa tingin mo, bakit ngayong gabi hindi dapat manalo ang mga katunggali or kalaban mo ngayong gabi?
That's a very hard question to answer because I do not really want to answer a question that is gonna expecting the unfortunate loss of the other candidates. I don't want to sound cliche, it is undeniable that all of your 6 candidates here, kahit kakaunti po kami, we are giving our very best to give you an amazing show. Because again, this is not for us, this is for you, and it is a celebration of diversity for each and every one of us. If I'm going back to the answer, why should my competitors not win tonight? I do not have the exact answer. It is the judges' decision whether they not are gonna win tonight's competition. I don't want to be hypocrite. All of us are beautiful. All of us are talented. And we all have the ability to provide excellent answers to whatever question you are throwing upon us. But if there's only one reason why they should not win, it is because you are tonight looking for an Ilocana beauty queen. And none of them is Ilocana. You're looking for an Ilocana beauty queen not because of my physical structure, but because of my story to tell. In my province, in Pangasinan, people do not consider me as beautiful. People do not consider me as something that is significant in joining beauty pageants. That is one of the main reasons why I migrated here in Metro Manila and why I joined different beauty pageants here. Because I believe that my beauty does not only suit the province, but my beauty should also be celebrated in the city of Manila. And tonight, I must tell you this, the 5 remaining candidates are also deserving to win. But like what I said earlier during my introduction, I am your only Ilocana beauty queen. At ngayong gabi, hayaan niyo pong mamayagpag ang ganda ng isang probinsyana. Dahil ang mga Manilenyo, magagandang di hamak, walang question, talentado at mahuhusay. Ngunit, ngayong ika-28 ng Abril, isang Ilocana ang tatatak. Maraming salamat.
Nabasa yung kanilang mga tanong. Question is, bilang isang individual, ano ang impact sa'yo ng pagkawala ng pinuno ng simbahang Katoliko? Again, bilang isang individual, at ano ang impact sa'yo ng pagkawala ng pinuno ng simbahang Katoliko?
Alright, thank you so much for that beautiful question. It is actually very timely and relevant, most especially our Pope Francis passed away last April or this month. And the impact of this is actually very heartwarming to me. Because on November 29, 2013, my parents got separated. I was actually grade 5. I don't want to be so emotional. I'm so sorry to the Board of Judges. And then, on the year 2015, the Pope visited the Philippines, and I actually prayed if he could tell to God that my parents will be united again. It is actually very personal to me, because that is one of the most important things that I ask God, most especially ask Pope Francis. And then, by this, I totally understand na hindi lahat ng kailangan natin ay bibigay ng Diyos. Dahil hindi ho gugustuhin ng Santo Papa at hindi rin to gugustuhin ng Diyos na makitang nagsasakitan ng aking mga magulang sa dahil lang di na nila mahal ang isa't isa. At ang pagkamatay ng Santo Papa ay sumisimbolo lamang sa isang bagay, kagaya ng pagsamba natin sa Nazareno, na hindi sa dumi ng iyong paa makikita kung ano ang kabutihang magagawa mo at mapagdarasal mo sa Diyos. Dahil ang tunay na magagawa mo ay ang paggawa mo ng kabutihan sa kapwa mo. At si Pope Francis ang nagpatunay na hindi matutupad ang iyong dasal kung hindi mo inaayos ang iyong asal. Thank you.
Okay. Eto na ang tanong for you, Miss ML. Para sa iyo, sino ang mas matalino? Ang taong ipinaglalaban ang karapatan o ang taong ipinaglalaban ang hustisya? Alin dito at bakit? Again, para sa iyo, sino ang mas matalino? Mas matalino? Ang taong ipinaglalaban ang karapatan o ang taong ipinaglalaban ang hustisya at bakit?
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. The question that was given to me is that, which is more intelligent? A person who is fighting for what is right, or a person who is fighting for justice? It is really hard because we do not really know what is the story of these people. Why are they fighting for what is right, or what for is the justice? If I am being perfectly honest, we should not be really fighting for these things. Because, let us not forget that in the country of the Philippines, we have the supreme law of the land, which we called our Philippine Constitution. And the very goal of our Philippine Constitution is to fight for what is right and provide the justice for every single Filipino citizen. Hindi dapat natin ipinaglalaban ang tama at ang hustisya. Dahil sa ating bansa, ang batas dapat ang gumagawa niyan para sa atin. But, of course, it would not satisfy the answer. I will be needing to choose between the two. In this world, we can always fight for what is right. But let us not forget that sometimes what is right for you may be wrong for other people. So it is not always how you perceive. It is always considering the factors and the perception of every single Filipino people. Hindi ibig sabihin na tama sa'yo ay tama rin para sa kanila. Hindi ibig sabihin na mali sa'yo ay mali rin para sa kanila. Dahil lagi nating tatandaan, lahat tayo ay may kani-kaniyang pananaw at opinyon sa kung ano ang tama at kung ano ang mali. Kaya naman, lagi nating tatandaan na kung alam mong nasa tama ka, hindi mo yan kailangang ipaglaban. Dahil kung ikaw ay tama, yan ay kusang lulugar para sa iyo. Kaya naman, mas pipiliin ko na matalino ang taong ipinaglalaban ng hustisya. Bakit? Dahil sa bansang ginagalawan natin, ang Pilipinas ay mayroong baluktot na hustisya. Hindi lahat nakakatanggap ng hustisya. Kapag mahirap ka, kahit anong gawin mong paglalaban sa hustisya, tatalunin ka ng mayaman. Tatalunin ka ng merong posisyon. Kaya naman, mas matalino ang taong ipinaglalaban ang hustisya. Dahil lagi nating tatandaan, ang hustisya ay hindi lamang para sa mayaman o matalino. Ang hustisya dapat ay bulag at pantay para sa ating lahat. Kaya naman, nais kong sabihin sa inyong lahat na sa panahon ngayon, hindi natin tunay na mababago ang pananaw ng bawat tao kung ano nga ba ang tama at kung ano nga ba ang naayon sa kanilang opinyon. Ngunit isa lamang ang masasabi ko, maaaring lahat tayo ay tama, maaaring lahat tayo ay mali. Ngunit lagi nating tatandaan na ang pagkakapantay-pantay at hustisya ay dapat nakukuha ng bawat isa. At walang pinipiling pagkatao, walang pinipiling antas sa buhay, at walang pinipiling kasarian. Ang hustisya ay ibinibigay ng batas para sa ating lahat. So people of Tondo, Manila, I would like to end my answer by simply telling you that your candidate number 5 was a victim of righteousness, tyranny, superiority. But then again, let us not forget, as long as we know that we human beings are protected by our Philippine Constitution, huwag tayong matakot na ipaglaban ang ating hustisya. Hindi mo kailangan maging matalino, hindi mo kailangan maging mayaman. Hanggat alam mong ikaw ay nasa tama, lumaban ka para sa iyong hustisya. Maraming salamat.
Yun lang. Okay. So, ito na. Ang tanong ay, kung magtatanggal ka ng isa sa 10 utos ng Diyos, anong utos ang iyong tatanggalin at bakit? Again, kung magtatanggal ka dun sa 10 utos ng Diyos, anong utos yung tatanggalin at bakit?
Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, we are living in a Catholic country wherein all of the 10 or 10 utos ng Diyos ay ating isinasa puso, sinasa isip at isinasagawa. But the question is, kung magtatanggal ako ng isa sa 10 utos ng Diyos, ano ito at bakit? Ladies and gentlemen, I will be straightforward. Tatanggalin ko po ang huwag kang papatay. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't wanna be so cruel. Hindi ho ako serial killer na kayang pumatay ng tao. Ngunit dahil tinatanong ako, meron ho akong maganda dahilan. Tatanggalin ko ho ang huwag kang papatay sa 10 utos ng Diyos. Dahil gusto ko pong patahin ang mga kurakot na leader na namumuno sa bansang Pilipinas. Ladies and gentlemen, believe it or not, hindi tayo umuunlad dahil naniniwala tayo sa mga sikat. Nagpapabulag tayo sa mga sinasabi nilang pagtulong at proyekto. Ngunit hindi natin iniisip na mas malalang pagnanakaw ang ginagawa nila. Kaya patuloy na nalulugmok ang bawat Pilipino sa ating bansa. Ladies and gentlemen, kung mapapatay ko ho ang lahat ng kurakot na nakaupo sa bansang Pilipinas, isa lamang po ang uunlad sa atin. Hindi po ang mga politiko, kundi ang mga taong nakapaligid dito. Lagi nating tatandaan na kung boboto ka ng isang leader, lagi mong tatandaan ang tatlong bagay. Una ay ang may mabuting kredensyal, malinis na kredensyal. Dahil bakit nyo ho iboboto ang taong may bangis-dungis ang kanyang pamumuno? Pangalawa, may malinis na puso para sa kanyang mga kapwa. Dahil lagi nating tatandaan na hindi lamang ang mga mayayaman ang makakatanggap ng pribilehiyo dahil sila ay natulungan ng mga politiko. Ngunit ang lahat ng tao ay mabibiyayaan kung ang ating leader ay tapat at hindi magnanakaw. Pangatlo, hindi ibibida ang kanyang pangalan, hindi gagamitin ang kanyang kasikatan, bagkus tutulungan hindi lamang ang mga taong nakatayo dito, ngunit ang mga taong may kapansanan na kailangan din nilang magkatrabaho upang sila ay umunlad bilang tao. Ladies and gentlemen, it is actually very important for us to have a good leader. Papatayin ko ang kurakot at bubuhayin at iboboto natin ang tapat at totoo ngayong halalan. Ladies and gentlemen, remember the Article 2, Section 27 of the 1987 Philippine Constitution states that the state shall remain honest and full integrity that will eradicate graft and corruption. Tandaan natin na ngayong halalan, tayo ay boboto, hindi bobo tayo. Thank you.
Yes. Eto na. Tawagin na. Eto na ang ating last and final question. Ay, parang kapiligtaran to kanina, no? Kung hindi kasalanan ang pagpatay, sino ang una mong papatayin? At bakit? Kung hindi kasalanan ang pagpatay, sino ang una mong papatayin? Kasi ang dami nang pinatay nung isa eh. Eto naman, sino ang una mong papatayin at bakit?
Thank you so much for that very interesting question. We're now down in the crucial part of the competition wherein beauty and wit is being judged. So I must fight for my own. I'm not going to answer that question with memorized script or direct to the point. If I'm going to kill someone, if it's killing is not illegal, I'm going to kill those people who's discriminating and abusing the LGBTQ community. Most especially in this country, wherein SOGI bill is still being not passed. Kawawa naman po ang kapatid natin sa rainbow community. Hindi nagkakaroon ng hustisya at walang sino man ang gustong lumaban sa tabi namin upang ipaglaban ang karapatan bilang isang tao. Because SOGI bill as of the moment is only at the third reading. So kung hindi po gagawa ng aksyon, sino po at paano matitigil ang pagkitil ng buhay ng mga kapwa natin, LGBTQ community? Kung ako ang binigyan ng pagkakataon and I was given the task to kill someone, those people who has peanut mind, I'm going to eradicate them in this world because no one should be killed innocent. And always remember this, tao lamang po kami. Hindi po kami nangangailangan ng another karapatan. We're just asking for the same rights as a human being. Baklaman po kami sa inyong paningin, ngunit kung ang pagpatay ang magiging sagot para tayo'y protektahan ng mga gobyerno, akin pong gagawin. Dudungisan ang aking kamay para sa ngalan ng aking kapwa kabaklaan at kapwa nating mga taong nakakaranas ng pag-physical abuse. Always remember, ladies and gentlemen, We are all equal beings in the eyes of God, and no one should privilege to kill someone but I, being asked for one task, and that is to serve my community, the LGBTQ community. I might be a leader, I might be a killer, but always remember, I kill for a reason, and that is my family. Thank you so much.